Jubilation tea cornbread. Jubilation tea cornbread. Hello, everyone. I'm Tupperware Pete, and yes, tonight we are going to make some cornbread. Now, I'm going to do it Tupperware Pete style. You know, when you don't have food, but you've got ingredients to make food, and it's like, we don't have food, but we've got ingredients to make food, but I really don't. Well, you know what I reckon we're going to do? We are going to do a tin of creamed corn. Let's grab actually, we probably don't need that little bowl. I've got this set of 3 bowls, right? And I'm just going to use the medium-sized one, right? Now, you know the saying, if it's round, make a sound. If it's square, don't you dare. So if you want something to be liquid tight in a round Tupperware, express the air out of there. You do that little sound. That won't leak now, right? So, and you can just grab the tab, peel the seal, use that as a frisbee. Be careful around the dogs. But now we've got a bowl that we can throw in our little bits and pieces. We're going to make like a cornbread muffin scone damper deliciousness, right? So, grab your Tupperware can opener. Incidentally, the Tupperware can opener is allergic to water. Never ever wash it, and this will last you a lifetime, right? So you open up the arms, pop that over there, and you know that you've got it on because you can lift the whole thing up, right? Left-handed or right-handed, just turn it in a clockwise direction until you've done the full 360. You hear that click? Sometimes you don't hear that click. You do most of the time, right? You do that click. Just turn it back a quarter of a turn. That releases everything. Open up the arms. You can take that off. See how that hasn't touched food yet? See this little beaky bit? Me. Little beaky. Grab the can. Lift that up. And that can opener still has not touched any food whatsoever. All you have to do is go over to the bin and you open up the arms. That drops down into the rubbish bin. That goes back into the drawer. Until next time. So in here we have got 1 tin of creamed corn. We have got our Tupperware spatula. This is the double-sided heat-resistant, stain-resistant silicone spatula. So we'll just pop that out into here. Because you've used the Tupperware can opener, there's no sharp edges on this tin whatsoever, which means it's totally safe to just stick your spatula straight into there, scrape the sides out. That cleans everything for you, does all the dishes, so you don't have to rinse that when you put it in the bin. And no sharp edges whatsoever. So there's the Tupperware can opener that we've got going on into there. I always like to use the seal as my little pop your spatula down in there as like a little spoon rest sort of thing. All right, so we've got our corn in here. What we're going to do is I've got in my little Tupperware freezer keeper, I've got some bacon. I used half of it this morning. We're going to use the other half now. We'll just pop that straight into there. On most Tupperware containers, on the bottom it'll tell you the capacity. So it's easy if you're doing homemade stock or bacon or shallots or lemongrass or frozen herbs or eggs or whatever it is that you want to freeze. Excuse me, you can measure that out on the bottom there. That's my black water coming up to say hello. Hello. So we'll pop that over into there. We've got our bacon. Let's throw in some mixed herbs out of our Tupperware spice container. You can be as liberal as you like. I like to use the pouring spout one as well as the sprinkler side, depending on what you're storing in here, all right? So there's our mixed herbs. Then we've got, let's do a little bit of cayenne pepper. What do you reckon? Now, you've heard me say this before. I'll say it again. Labels are fantastic. Not for people, for your Tupperware and packages in Australia Post. What you do is you grab your label, pop it on one side, pop it on the other side. This is cayenne pepper. Then that way it doesn't matter which way you pop it into the cupboard. You've got a label facing the outside so you don't get your cayenne pepper mixed up with your cinnamon. That'd be tricky. And I've got the pour-all one here. So all we're going to do is grab a teaspoon. I'm going to do about a half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper just for a little bit of heat underneath. And it's unlike chili, cayenne pepper will not irritate your stomach, but it'll still give you that little bit of a heat, right? Also really good for your blood. What we've got in here, you know what this is called, don't you? No need to ask, it's a smooth operator. It is a little baby chopper. operator. All right, we've got one of those in there. That's just blitzed up our onion beautifully in here. We'll pop that over there. Grab this here. Pop in half an onion. I've just used, I think that's a brown onion. I don't know. I popped it into the fridge in there because I only used half of that this morning in a recipe. We'll just pop that straight into there. There is our onion. Pop that straight back into here. Grab this as well, and we'll just run that around the outside. All the silicone goes round the outside. All right, how is that? So that's what we've got going on in there so far. Onion, bacon, herbs, and a tin of creamed corn. Easy. We are going to grab some bicarb soda, baking powder, bicarb soda. I think this is bicarb soda. I buy mine bulk, so that way you don't have to do shopping very often. Label on one side, label on the other side. Now, just to let you know, if you want to preserve or extend the life of your Tupperware seal, you grab the tab, and you peel the seal. That's going to extend the life of your seal, all right? So all we're going to do is grab a teaspoon, and we'll do 1/2 to 3/4 of a teaspoon of bicarb in there, because I'm using plain flour. So what we're going to do is we'll pop that straight over there. I've also got, we've got some cracked black pepper. We will pop that into there, and dun 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 dun. Well, let's grab some salt as well. I've got some Celtic sea salt. I saw this Celtic sea salt. It was the same, it's a kilo bag. It was the same price as a 500-gram bag. So I thought, why not? I've got a spare modular mate that I haven't got labels on because, you know, sometimes you don't buy the same thing every week and you still need to pop it in a container. This is perfect. Grab the tab, peel the seal. Grab our Celtic sea... Oh, it might help if that was clean. Just take this opportunity to look at the display for a moment, won't you? While I just give this a bit of a wipe out. All right, so what we will do is grab our Celtic sea salt. Someone asked me earlier, serious question, why Celtic sea salt? There's different minerals in Celtic sea salt, and I ran out of table salt, so I needed some new salt as well. Oh, there's a hair in there. There's a hair in there. How did that happen? I'm bald. Okay, so let's take that Celtic sea salt. Now, another question that I often get with the modular mates and for the pantry, they say, Peter, how do you know how much fits in what? Well, there is a bit of a trick. If the packet is roughly the same size as the container, you know it's going to fit, right? So this is an oval number 3. And on the bottom, it will tell you that this is 1.7 litres. So that's how you can measure that up, right? We've got our salt. Anyway, you get the idea. Grab the tab, peel the seal, grab a teaspoon. We're going to throw in a good pinch of Celtic sea salt. And now we've got some flour. Grab the tab, peel the seal. And I am just going to, I've got my Tupperware measuring cups. With the Tupperware measuring cups, it doesn't matter which design that you've got. I've been doing this almost 30 years and I've seen quite a few different designs of Tupperware measuring cups. It doesn't matter which design that you've got. The Tupperware measuring cups always seem to come in a set of 6 instead of a set of 4. So instead of getting the 3rd cup measure and measuring it twice, they actually give you a 2/3 cup. And instead of getting the 1/4 cup measure and measuring that 3 times, they actually give you a 3/4 cup as well. So I've got 2 sets of these, one for wet ingredients, one for dry ingredients. It really does save a lot of time in the kitchen and fuss and bother, right? So I've just got some wholemeal plain flour in here, and we will do 1 cup. We will also do, that's the end of the flour. So, this is perfect. Did you notice there's no label in here? Because I did have, this was the last of my plain flour. So we'll pop that over there and we will wash that out. But I did find in my pantry, I've got my plain flour container empty. Grab the tab, peel the seal. There's no need to, I'm not going to be OCD about that and give that a wipe out because this Tupperware seal is an OG seal. It will literally extend the life of your dry staple goods, some people say up to 5 years. Now, remember that the use by date and the best before date are different. Most dry staples that go into your pantry have a best before date, not a use by date. So remember, the Tupperware seal is going to extend that date up to 5 years, some people say, longer. All right, so what we're going to do is we are going to open this up. What we're going to do now is pop that straight into this here, and that is going to be, oh, 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 oh. Look at that. Now we might need to I didn't think that through, did I? Let's just level that off and we'll pop that straight in. There we go. We'll pop that straight into there. Too easy. Now, let's just... Now I've got flour everywhere. I just spilt my flour all over the kitchen bench. I'm not a very good mechanic, so I don't own a wrench. All right, what we will do is we will grab our cloth and give this a bit of a wipe down. Talk amongst yourselves for this bit, won't you? The joys of live television, don't you love it? All right. Then what we're going to do is, let's just, oh look, hang on, let's just wipe this out. Here we go. Luckily, Tupperware do eco cloths. Every cloth in my kitchen is Tupperware, and they're fully machine washable, and it means you use less chemicals in the kitchen. All right, so what we're going to do is grab our spatula. Whether you're folding it and using the straight side or whether you're using the curvy side to get and scrape around the curve of the bowl, this spatula will do every job in the kitchen that you need it to do. Well, that bacon's still a little frozen. That's okay. Now, if you wanted to, you could throw in some garlic in here. That'd be nice. But we've got... This is going to be about 2.5 cups of flour, and I'm just trying to... That bacon is frozen as a... Well, that's okay. You know what we've got to do about that? Let it go! Let it go! All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to fold this through, and it's going to be like a... In Australia, we call this like a damper type thing, but I'm going to turn it into like a little mini cornbread, like corn hash type bread type scone. It's heavier than a scone, but it's lighter than a damper, if that makes any sense whatsoever, right? But I've got, like I said, remember at the beginning, I said I don't have food, but I've got ingredients to make food, right? And so not only does Tupperware make it very easy, it's also a lot of fun. All right, so we've got this in here. Then we will just add probably a little bit more flour. So it's going to be, when I do my pumpkin scones this way, with, well, not this way, but I grab a tin of condensed pumpkin soup and about 2.5, 3 cups of self-raising flour, and that's it. Fold the two together, pop it into the Micro Pro grill, which is basically an oven that goes into the microwave. It's like a fry pan that goes into the microwave. It's a sandwich press, it's a barbecue, it's an oven, it's a fry pan, this will replace a lot of your kitchen appliances. It will brown and crisp, and nothing will go soggy. So yes, you can do crispy bacon in here that takes about 6 or 7 minutes. You can do crispy pizza. I made pizza from scratch. Homemade dough in here, Greek yogurt and plain flour. Pop that into there. It never goes soggy because it doesn't microwave your food. It grills your food, right? So what happens is, yes, this is made out of metal. Yes, it goes into the microwave. Yes, it's completely safe. The metal is curved, which is tick, one safety feature of this. There's metal in the top and there's metal in the bottom. However, because of this elongated foot down here and the elongated foot down this side, you don't get metal on metal. And it's like the same around here. You've got like a little, it's like a bumper car that goes into the microwave that will actually do a steak as if you've cooked it on the barbecue outside, right? It will do a chocolate cake as if you've popped it in the oven for an hour and a half, but it'll only take like 25, 30 minutes, right? I'm now going to do these cornbread scones. I've done pumpkin scones in here. I've done zucchini slice in. Sometimes I do a stir fry in here. I never have to clean my stovetop ever because it's like a little fry pan that goes into the microwave. And because of this here, it's not Teflon. There's no PFOAs in any of the Tupperware products. This is an amazing invention called Eterna. So it's totally non-stick, but there's no PFOAs in there whatsoever, right? So the same with the Tupperware silicone. There's no latex in any of the Tupperware silicone. So if you know anybody that's got a latex allergy, the Tupperware's very safe. All right, so we've got that there. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to, I reckon, we throw in just a little bit more flour. Now, if I had more ingredients, I would throw in some blue cheese or Parmesan cheese in here. I would throw in maybe some coriander or fresh parsley in here as well. Just absolutely delicious. Right, so it's starting to get, I don't want it sticky. Do you know what I mean? Like I want it to be like a scone or a damper but I don't want it to be sticky. I want it to be nice and, it's going to be like little cornbread rolls, right? That are, oh, we'll pop that into there. Okay, let's see how we go. So, that's sort of, for time-wise on the video, I might just stop it there. But what I'm going to do is just grab a little bit here, and we will, can you see that there? We'll just do these little, we'll do these little rounds in here. Oh, that's a fairly big one. It's okay. There we go. Can you get the idea? This is how I do my pumpkin scones. A tin of pumpkin soup and flour. That's it. And if you want to get fancy with those pumpkin scones, oh, hang on. If you do want to get fancy with the pumpkin scones, I love throwing in coriander, blue cheese and walnuts. Oh, that's divine. You make a beautiful little chili jam or a chili relish to have with that as a pumpkin scone. I mean, you can still have jam and cream if you want, but because it's a versatile recipe, you can do it sweet or savoury. Well, this one is a little bit big, but that's okay. You get the idea, right? Pop that into there. How are we going? We got questions? So feel free to share this video with whoever you think it needs. And like and subscribe, give me a follow. Let me know where you're watching from because I love finding out where people are watching from. We've got people that watch from all over the world. Okay. There we go. We'll pop that into there. And we will pop this into here. Oh, that's a big one. It's okay. We will, oh. You get that? Oh, hang on. That one's falling apart just a little bit. We need to work it a little bit more. Right. There we go. I have got, oh, apart from that bit right there, I have got, here we go. Lucky I've got the Tupperware cloth. It's going to help me clean this up beautifully. We'll just rinse that out and just pop it into the machine and it'll be good to go for next week. Alright, so here we got our, excuse the flour, there's our 9 cornbread muffin type, it's too heavy for a muffin, but we could call it a scone, but I think it's too heavy for a scone. So I think we'll call them like little mini cornbread dampers. All right? So what I'm going to do is, I just thought of this, we will also, mainly because I love the flavour and the aestheticness of getting some sweet paprika, and I'm just using the little sprinkle section. So we will just sprinkle some sweet paprika over the top of those little cornbreads. And we will just, there we go. Jubilation tea cornbread. How delicious is that? Now we are going to pop this into, you can pop it into the grill position or the casserole position. So this is the casserole position. Excuse the flour. This is the casserole position, which is like an oven, right? If I was doing like a chicken breast or a steak, I'd do it a quarter of a turn, pop it into the grill position. That way it's like a double-sided barbecue that goes into the microwave, and your microwave only costs 2 or 3 cents a day to run, and you never have to clean your splashback in your kitchen, right? I'm going to pop that into the casserole position. I'm going to pop that straight into, I'm going to pop it in for 14 minutes. I probably should have done 15. Don't know why I did 14. Give me a like, a follow, and a subscribe. I will pop the finished product. I'll pop the finished product on every platform you're allowed to pop still photos on. And if I remember, I might even come back and do a part 2 just to show you what it looks like, a very quick show you what it looks like once it's done. If you've got any questions or suggestions, please let me know. And, oh, hang on. Oh, you know, I've done it again. I am a little rusty, and I do apologise for that. But you know what I've done? I've gone, and if you've been watching me for a while, you'll know what I forgot. There is one thing that I forgot. Actually, I do recommend that you forget this every time you go live and do a video. There is one thing you should always forget. Forget your troubles and get happy. Dance your cares away. Shout out and get happy. I'll cook for you another day. Thank you all for watching, everybody. Oh, bye-bye. Bye-bye.